embracing some 3, 4, 5 suggestions. There was a suggestion to make it part of Pakistan Constitution and give it a separate status within the Constitution. There was talk about making it part of the frontier province. There was talk about making it part of other Kashmir, merging it with each other. Yes. There was a talk to grant them an assembly and the government like in Azad Kashmir. And there has been a talk to give them representation in the Jammu and Kashmir constituted by the Prime Minister of Pakistan. So there were 5, 6 suggestions which have been made from time to time. So this is not one suggestion that we are concentrating on at the moment. All these suggestions are under active consideration.
Would you like to see that part of Azad Kashmir?
I suggested that make Azad Kashmir part of Northern area.
But you would like to see the two of them together?
Certainly they are part of Jammu and Kashmir state. They are part of the 84,000 square miles of area. How could you take it out?
Then why have you reconciled yourself to their being administered separately?
You see, this.
Why should you not be the Prime Minister of the Northern area?
This was not caused at the present stage or the later stage. This was caused right in 47, 48, you see, when this Northern area was liberated. And that was the time when there was an impending threat from China, and the entire thinking of the British and American people was to defend against China, and therefore they wanted Pakistan to be a party against that defense. So that way, under some agreement in Karachi sometimes back, early 40, 49, I don't know what it was decided that temporarily it is given to the administrative control of the government of Pakistan. But certainly, not that to become the Prime Minister, I want that territory, but that territory belongs to the Jammu and Kashmir state, and it has to remain as such.
Are you prepared to agitate for it to be?
There's no need to agitate it. You see, we can sit at home, and Pakistan government is not an alien government. it's my own government, and therefore, I mean, we look at. You see, we're so contiguous, and we're such a mixed society that we can't look at it from that point of view. But the people within their own families, with 2, 3 brothers, they get married, they have separate houses, or in the same house they have separate quarters, compartments to live in, something like that.
I come to my last subject.
Yes, please.
You call the state or the country you run as Azad Kashmir. How Azad is it?
It is as Azad as we want it to be. There's nothing except that we don't want to wriggle out of the partition plan, as I said. Short of that, it is Azad. At least with me as Prime Minister or President, whenever I was there, I have had no difficulty, even in the worst times, politically speaking worse. For example, the situation which obtained between the then Prime Minister, Mr. Bhutto, and myself, we were almost at dagger's thrown. But the cooperation with the federal government, with me in Azad Kashmir, was perhaps at its climax. I mean, it was so fine that we're still looking forward for a thing like that. So, for us, internal freedom, liberty is concerned, it also depends from person to person. Things in the same constitution, under the same laws. You have people different. The deputy commissioners, if you look at them, under the same legal system, a deputy commissioner is more powerful and deputy commissioner is simply useless. So something like that, you see, the government in Azad Kashmir, whenever there was a competent man, we enjoyed full autonomy and there was no interference. On the other hand, we got all assistance. When I left the government in 74, I don't know what the total budget was, but I left 10 crores of rupees in surplus. So nobody stopped us. We used every penny, and then whatever we need, we get from the government of Pakistan. There have been, despite some political differences at times, the federal government, as such as government, has always been very kind, except that when we mismanage ourselves and we are not capable of handling things properly, then we blame. That is the general phenomenon. We blame others for our follies.
But if you are more or less administered and functionally you are like a state, a province of Pakistan.
We are not like a province of Pakistan.
In real terms,
you see, we are maintaining the same status which the Jammu and Kashmir state maintained at the time of partition. It was a state within the overall paramountcy of the British Empire, but it enjoyed all other autonomous powers. That is exactly, we have a Supreme Court, we have a High Court, we have an assembly which is both legislative and constituent assembly for us. So it's almost of that order, you see, that we left it we had in 47, 48.
Is it time for one more question? Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
I just have final question.
No, you are at liberty. You may ask any questions you like and be at ease with us. I would rather prefer to have any questions asked than you take back with you something lurking in your mind. You can ask. There's absolutely no protocols, and I talk as frankly as.
No, I can see that. And I appreciate that.
Nothing to hide.
Only Prime Minister, are you satisfied with the status of Kashmir within Pakistan as it exists right now? Or would you like to see either more autonomy or greater integration into Pakistan?
You see, unless the Kashmir issue is settled, we would like to stick to our position as it is. And then, I belonging to the Jammu and Kashmir Muslim Conference. We had also an instrument of accession declared, a declaration in 1949, 47, perhaps 47, in which we said that after this issue has been settled, we would like to concede to Pakistan foreign affairs, defense, and communication. And for all of the rest of the subjects, we will retain our internal autonomy. That was the declaration of accession which we made in 46 or 47. The Muslim Conference, I was still very young, I was not in the Muslim Conference at that time. So we maintain that status till the Kashmir issue is decided. So once it is decided, then through the will of the people, whether they want to enjoy the status of a province with India or Pakistan, or whether they like to have more merger, something more than that or something less than that, that will be left to them. But the state people would prefer, generally, the state people have their own typical psychology, and they would prefer to have internal autonomy within the overall paramountcy of Pakistan instead of totally merging or totally staying out. That's what I expect.
But the people in the valley who are a sizable number, I think a majority of them would like independence if it ever came to that.
You see, it's good you asked this question. This must also be understood that this question of independent Kashmir is comprised of 2-3 components. It's not one single whole. One component is of course the same as everywhere else in the world. The geographical and linguistic nationalities. That is one part of it. How strong it is difficult to assess at this time. But we must conceive that there is an element, that there will remain an element all the time, for all times to come. In India, Pakistan, England, America, everywhere you have this problem. The other element is the one which, because of the international propaganda, that it is a territorial dispute, and no country would like to be party to territorial dispute between India and Pakistan. Therefore, somebody likes to think something else away from that settled principle. There is a strong element which believes in that the Kashmir issue can be resolved by excluding both India and Pakistan and giving the Kashmiris a separate status. But what will happen ultimately, they are not clear. This element is not clear on that point. For the struggle, they are very clear that the struggle should be based on this. Thirdly, there is an element which uses this platform of independent Kashmir as following the fashion, the present day fashion in the world of freedom, liberty, independence, and whatnot. It's a fashion, everybody talking about that. So there's an element which is influenced by that fashion also. There's yet another element amongst this independent Kashmir Walas who, out of sheer dislike for India, for Indian occupation, they say this is the best way to fight it out. And there's yet another element which, out of sheer dislike for Pakistan, would project or plead that idea of independence. But out of these 4 or 5 components, one has to assess the real, genuine, actual strength. Now, in Azad Kashmir, for example, they have been very vocal. They have had, according to our report, they have had supports by some people in India also, and many people in the world around. Some Britishers who have supported that idea, some Americans who supported that idea. But that basically, for their understanding, for their belief that Kashmir was a territorial dispute between India and Pakistan. Therefore, a third position should be acceptable to the people.
No, let me just ask you.
Yes.
One thing.
Okay. If you are not in a hurry, I am not in a hurry. You can sit in long anytime you want.
Okay. We'll chat extensively.
Yes, fine. Fine.
Interview. I believe you were. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Prime Minister, in yes or no, would you be happy living in an independent Kashmir?
I was asked by the independent people sometimes the same question which you asked. I said, if at all independent Kashmir was carved out against my wishes and against the political strength that I be, which I have absolutely no doubt that nobody can challenge it and nobody can take it away from me, I would then seek asylum or refuge here in Punjab somewhere or elsewhere and go and settle there. I would not like to live in that Kashmir which is independent and become party to total chaos, confusion and destruction. I would not be a party to that in any case.
Well, why do you think there would be chaos, confusion and
yes. You look at the geographical and ethnic breakup of the Jammu and Kashmir state. The Hindus and Dogras of Jammu, they can just not reconcile to an idea of independent Kashmir. So that part is gone. So in the package, people in Azad Kashmir, they just cannot reconcile it. They have not reconciled over 50 years. So much of propaganda has gone underneath, but they have not reconciled to that idea. People in the northern area will not reconcile. So ultimately, it is the valley which is left. Now, then of course you have in the valley itself. You must be knowing that the people who belong to Srinagar proper. Now, this propaganda of independent Kashmir is demonstrated mostly in proper Srinagar. And maybe in many other towns in India and Pakistan, we have similar propaganda. In towns particularly, see, towns are actually very badly affected by such sort of propaganda. People, when they don't get an employment, they get up and say that we would like to make departure from this or from that. So that, but as I was saying, if you look at the internal geographical and ethnic and cultural breakup of the Jammu and Kashmir state, like India, it doesn't have the capability of staying in one country. So it will just break up automatically. There's no question of independent Kashmir. Then we are left only with Srinagar. And I know the Srinagar people might like to fly both the flags, India and Pakistan, and enjoy themselves if that was ever possible. But you see, the idea of independent Kashmir is totally impractical, inapplicable to the very scheme of things. And therefore, I personally would not like to waste my time on a thing which I know to be absolutely inapplicable and impracticable.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Nice to be with you.
Let's chat.
And you're visiting Azad Kashmir also. Do you have any particular itinerary?
No, I have nothing planned. I just want to see what Azad Kashmir is.
See the development and meet people.
The development, the economic situation, the culture.
Economic situation. See and meet cross-section of people from